Fasten your chin strap and put your pads on. Get a grip on the bat, here comes a fastball. We ain't going one and done, we're here to last long. This the top of the standards, get ready to blast off. Alright, let's do this. Hut hut! Every Sunday afternoon, big sports fanatics coming out your speakers like a piston running with magic. Game time status good to go is automatic. Ready for the blowouts and the instant classics. Calling all the teachers, all the fathers and the mothers. Calling all the kids, all the sisters and the brothers. Dynamic high schoolers in the game like no other preseason. Game 7s, hey, y'all know we got it covered. From the finals to the Super Bowl to the World Series to the Stanley Cup final. Over here we spit it clearly. Andrew Hale and Jotham Israel coming with the hottest topics. Hey, you know what's up with sports. People wanting it, we got it. Yeah, get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Yo, get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Come on. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Yo, get in the game. It's the top of the standards, man. Get in the game. It's the top of the standards. Come on.
Yeah, top of the standards. That's what it's about, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, season 2 is here, baby. Yes, Jotham Israel and Andrew Hale, we're back and better than ever. Yes, we got a ton of sports to talk about, as always. And yes, I can rap. I produced the song, I wrote the lyrics, and I rapped it. That is my voice. Yes, you guys better believe it. But before we get started...
Well, Drew, you got me. You got me again. I don't know why the Bills played so poorly last week. I mean, I didn't expect them to get absolutely dominated like that. I mean, at least put up a little bit of a fight, you know.
Yeah.
Dang, that was just, man.
Yeah, it seemed like the Browns played better somehow. I would have never guessed, but that's what it looked like. I don't know. I think it all started when the Bills didn't really get their offense going against the Ravens. I really think that was the problem. If they would have blown out the Ravens with their offense, I think it would have been an entirely different story. But since their offense really didn't get back on track after that one, it was kind of over from the start. I mean, sure, they went up 9-0, and then after that, it just went downhill.
Man, as soon as Tyler Bass missed that extra point, dunked that extra point, it was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so dead. Can we just recognize how deadly the Chiefs' offense is? Like, they'll go down 2 scores, and they'll score touchdowns. You kick punts, and they'll just be trading touchdowns and punts all up until the half is over. And it's just like, that is demoralizing, man. That is demoralizing football, man.
Yeah, watching it, it's almost so strategic, their game plan. It's literally like they're doing the 2-minute drill every single drive. They're hardly ever going to make mistakes. They're always going to run their routes correctly. Everyone's on the same page. And most of the time, you're gonna see a Chiefs touchdown rather than a punt or a field goal. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy to think that they would let some of the weaker teams kind of stop them.
Yeah.
But then when they get to the bigger games, the better teams, they look like the normal Chiefs. Games like, you know what I'm saying, the Broncos and the Falcons. I'm like, what is this? What is this? But then when they get up against, the Saints and I was about to say the Raiders, the Bills. now they turn up the Jets like it's on. It's on, my guy. It's like the reverse Steelers, really.
Yeah, that's the reverse Steelers. That is funny. That's good. That is good. It's accurate, but that's good. That's funny.
Yeah, dude. Now everybody's asking the question: who the heck is going to stop these guys? Who's going to stop the Chiefs? Well, we have one team left. We have one team left, and it's a familiar face in a familiar place.
Yeah, maybe Patrick Mahomes will have to get his revenge on Tom Brady. Who knows? Who knows?
This is the best, this quarterback Super Bowl matchup, probably arguably the best of all time, but it was set up because of Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur, my guy. You have Aaron freaking Rodgers, first and goal inside the 10. You don't run the football once. Okay, I get it. You put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands, but get him in better position, man. Because, Drew, if it was 4th and goal on the 1 instead of 4th and goal on the 8, you think he would have went for it on 4th and goal at the 1?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, but regardless, the game is on the line. Drew, did I not tell you that Packers defense is notorious for choking in the NFC Championship game?
Not just that, I don't think they're that good. I don't think their defense is that good compared to some other teams in the playoffs. And one thing, I don't want to put all the hate on, Matt, but don't you think Aaron Rodgers could have ran it in? I'm pretty sure when I was watching that live, I was like, oh my God, he's about to run it in. And then he decides to throw it basically to the ground. I was like, huh? What? Did he just do that?
I couldn't believe it because it was Aaron freaking Rodgers. It was a collective team L. Yeah. The defense, you know what? We're going to hold off on the defense because the defense got put in some tough spots. And you know what? In some ways, minus Kevin King, they showed up.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was like. The one play that you cannot excuse them for is that end of the first half.
Raiders, Jets, anybody? Henry Ruggs?
Dude, I was like, oh my gosh. And that basically, I think that probably propelled them to the win. But nonetheless, I don't know why the Packers are so bad. I mean, I like it why they're so bad in the NFC Championship. But hey, I don't get it. I mean, isn't Aaron Rodgers the MVP? Isn't he supposed to go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like, dude, that is a I don't say tarnished legacy, but that's an L that,
home field too? Oh,
yeah. No. Oh, Rick, we got the NFC Championship at Lambeau. We're going to the Super Bowl. Nobody can beat us at Lambeau in the postseason. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, enter the Bucs. Yeah. They got so hyped. And you know what? It's just like, bro, it's sad to see Aaron Rodgers, he's such a good player. But, he has won NFC Championship. And I brought it up. He's only beaten Jay Cutler in the NFC Championship. Jay Cutler. Yikes. He hasn't beaten anybody else in the NFC Championship but Jay Cutler. And that, dude, oh my gosh, dude. I'm pretty sure inside, you can be as professional as you want, Drew, but I know deep inside, you were clowning the Packers, laughing at the Packers like, This is what Lions fans have to deal with year after year after year, collectively in one game. Penalties going against you, freaking Hail Marys going up against you, everything that the Lions. Oh my God, Beautiful. That had to be kind of like the dream situation.
Beautiful. Hey, I was rooting for the Bucs, but I was 10 times more happy that the Packers were able to lose and basically shoot themselves in the foot rather than, the Buccaneers winning. I don't know. I found so much joy in watching the Packers lose and everyone, penalties, the Packers should have won, the Bucs, the refs are on their side. Okay. It makes no sense. You can't say that. You can't say that. Obviously, I don't know, everyone was arguing about that final pass interference that went the Bucs' way, but if you watch the replay, his shirt is almost getting ripped off. I don't know how that's not a pass interference, and then people are like, well, if that's a pass interference, then this is. I would not compare, hand grabbing and partial shoulder grabbing compared to an entire shirt almost being ripped.
No, like we're talking about the entire bottom of this man's shirt. Like there's a clear difference between white undershirt and a white jersey. Like you saw it. That thing was stretched. Like I'm like, because I looked at it from the the centered angle, the downfield angle, and I was just like, oh, they didn't get cheated. That's something. That's some type of penalty. Whether it's PI or holding, that's some type of penalty. Oh yeah.
I don't understand their argument. They're just salty Packers fans. Take the loss.
And I was loving every second of it, man. I was just like, oh, this is pure gold. It's time to stop giving Aaron Rodgers excuses. It's time to stop giving him excuses. He got everything that he wanted except for a wide receiver drafted, in the first round and stuff like that. But still, you had an MVP season. You had home field advantage, number 1 seed, another 13-3 season. You had the NFC Championship in your crib for the first time against an apparently washed up Tom Brady and a Bucs team that is so inexperienced that hardly any of them have been to the playoffs, because the Buccaneers haven't been in the playoffs in over a decade, and you let them come in and they just dogged you.
Okay, so Packers fans, they love to make fun of, Matthew Stafford. Oh, he's 0-3 in the playoffs. Tell me, would you rather be 0-3 in the playoffs or only be to one Super Bowl? Only go to one Super Bowl. Sure, you won, but year after year, you're losing in that NFC Championship, one game away from the Super Bowl. Personally, I'm taking those zero wins in the playoffs. I would hate to be a Lions fan and constantly lose in that NFC Championship game when you're that close to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's so agonizing. And one last thing I'll say about this, Drew. Aaron Rodgers now has the record for most NFC Championship losses by a quarterback. Do you understand that statistic? Donovan McNabb, early 2000s Eagles, 3 in a row. But Aaron Rodgers surpassed him.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? That's crazy. That is actually insane.
Wow.
Oh,
it's time to stop giving him
the GOAT, right? Yeah, the GOAT. Okay.
People actually call Aaron Rodgers the GOAT.
Okay.
Oh my, dude, I don't get it. They call him the GOAT because of what he does with such little. If that's the case, then Drew Brees should be the GOAT.
Exactly.
Because he only has one Super Bowl too, and he's the greatest statistical quarterback to ever step on the field. Statistically, in terms of statistics.
Yeah.
Passing yards, passing touchdowns, and stuff like that. It goes like this: Brady's the greatest winner. Brees is the best passer. Rodgers is the best is the best to do it with such, with no wins to, justify them.
Okay. Yeah. I guess so.
Maybe.
So.
Off the top of my head, I have to think about that.
There's so many legendary quarterbacks. Those are just the ones in our generation.
Yeah. But bottom line is, stop giving Aaron Rodgers excuses. No more excuses. Okay, let's go to college basketball, dude, because this was a very, very vital week in terms of, resumes being pushed towards that March Madness. Because I kid you not, we're only, a little more than a month away from it, Drew.
That's crazy to think, and we didn't even get there last year. All I gotta say, last week we brought up Kansas losing. Dude, what's going on with these blue bloods? All of them are going to be unranked. All of them. Who would have thought? That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. It's like people, as soon as people tried to start clowning Michigan State, Kansas, come with us. Kentucky, here you come have a seat too.
Duke,
come here too. And I'm loving it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I mean, outside of Michigan State, I don't want to clown Michigan State or anything like that, but I love seeing all these new teams, rise up to the occasion and just, big boy team. Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee. I'm loving it, dude. I'm loving this.
Alabama had a tough loss though. They were up. Yeah. They were up there. I don't know how they got up that high, but tough loss to Oklahoma.
My thing is that's not that good of a loss, because they lost without, Oklahoma not having Austin Reeves. I've seen Austin Reeves. He's a stud at times. But yeah, I was like, wait, they lost to Oklahoma without Austin Reeves? I'm thinking, okay, two questions come in mind. How good really is Alabama, and how good is Oklahoma? Those were two big questions. I'm thinking, when Austin Reeves comes back, this OU team might be something different.
Yeah, all I gotta say is tank for Cade. That's all I gotta say.
Not if the Wizards beat you to it.
Oh, come on, Wizards! You know the worst team in the NBA never gets that first pick. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Come on, come on. So I'm hoping the Pistons win a few more games, get in that 2 to 3 zone. Get that first pick.
Not number 4.
No, not 4. Yeah, and then get Cade because he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm saying the Big 12 is trying to make they're trying to make themselves look like the best conference of college basketball. Now, I don't agree, but you know what? They're making the case. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all these good games. Texas Tech and West Virginia on Monday. That was a pretty good game. Oklahoma, beat Texas by 1. That was a pretty good game too. And obviously Baylor is trying to nag at Gonzaga for the top team in college basketball. I mean, it's like everybody in the Big 12 is making noise except for Kansas.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but I know you're loving it. I know you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, and you know what? There's some big games to back it up too. I mean, currently right now, Michigan State and Ohio State are playing, in the Big Ten, and you know what? MSU's got a tough road trip, man.
They always do. They always do. They're struggling. They are definitely struggling quite a bit.
At Ohio State right now, and then at Iowa. Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to the Iowa game. I think Michigan State kind of has a chance because we talked about it earlier. I don't know what Iowa is doing. I think they're a bit, I wouldn't say inconsistent because we know how good they can be, but they have some interesting losses to obviously Illinois on Friday. So
yeah,
I don't know. They have quite a bit of losses, more than what I guess their team is represented by, because obviously Luka Garza probably the best player in the country, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty odd. I mean, at this point, number 1 seed hopes on life support because you're seeing. I mean, obviously Baylor and Gonzaga look like they're not going to give it up anytime soon. Yeah. And then Villanova looking pretty good. I don't know about Michigan, dude. I don't know about Michigan being the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Until they get out of their first round, like UMBC, Virginia, all over again.
Oh my gosh! If Michigan becomes the 3rd number 1 seed in college basketball history to lose to a 16 seed, not just on the men's side, but dude, that's going to be, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, yeah, dude. But you know what? We got some good games on tap this weekend. I really am interested to seeing this Oklahoma Texas Tech game tomorrow because how good is Oklahoma? And I really want to see Mac McClung, man. Second half Mac McClung.
Yeah, he I think he probably made a good decision in transferring for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm loving this. I really like this Texas Tech. Chris Beard is doing such a good job down there in Texas Tech, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it when they actually got to the national championship, obviously lost, beat Michigan State in the Final Four. That was a good team as well. But Matt McClung, I remember watching his highlights in high school. He was one of the best players in the country, and I'm actually very impressed because he came up short a few days ago on a potential buzzer beater after a crazy finish. But he's a good player. I think it was a fantastic decision to transfer.
Yeah, and then he willed his team back against LSU. 12-0 run in the last minute plus. Oh my gosh, that was. See, Texas Tech, I can't wait. I cannot wait. That's going to be such a good game. But also, I want to see the Baylor Texas get top 5. See, anytime you get top 5 matchups in college basketball, automatic. Put them on ESPN 1, not 2, not ESPNU, not ESPN 3. ESPN, just straight ESPN. That's what I like with Baylor and Texas, man.
Yeah, it's almost kind of rare that we see a matchup of 2 top 5 teams this late in the season. It's very, very rare. Usually you see them in those big tournaments earlier in the season. But hey, when you can get those top 5 matchups, like you said, put them in the spotlight, put them in the limelight, put them right there for everyone to see.
You mean Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale, man? Let's go. Hopefully. Because in my opinion, Dan Shulman is my favorite college basketball guy, play-by-play guy, and obviously we know Dick Vitale's a legend. Yeah. We know he's a legend. Oh my gosh, college, dude! I'm so glad to have this back. And obviously, Ohio State and Iowa, they play on Thursday, so that's going to be another game to watch. But you know what, dude? It's funny because of all the games we talked about, North Carolina and Duke. That's going to be so overshadowed by every other game. Usually when North Carolina and Duke play, as they are going to play this Saturday, usually when they play, it's like all eyes on North Carolina versus all eyes versus North. Well, they're both unranked. It's not the same. I want to hear your thoughts about this North Carolina Duke just being kind of under the lights or overshadowed by all these other great team.
Is this the first time that we're not going to see any Duke North Carolina promo for ESPN? 2 teams in the top 10 fighting it out. No, it's going to be 2 teams with historic histories having terrible seasons fighting it out on ESPN. No, come on. Duke fans and North Carolina fans, they're going to be watching. As for the rest of us, if it's close, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll turn it on, but I don't see much interest going into this game.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams. I mean, I will admit North Carolina has been stepping it up a bit, but
Yeah,
still not
Duke
enough.
also these past 2 games
Yeah,
beating
But it's-
Clemson too.
yeah. Which Clemson's starting to slide too. So we'll see
Uh-oh.
about how good that wins, how good those wins look when it comes to resume checking. But yeah, dude. I mean, just letting this sink in. The fact that college basketball is so diverse right now, that North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky are all these blue bloods are not getting any real attention on ESPN anymore. We're talking Baylor, Texas, Oklahoma, freaking Texas Tech. You know what I'm saying? All these other teams getting attention. It's just like, wow.
Kind of looking like college football.
Yeah, like another version of college football.
Yep.
Oh, this is amazing. And then I want to see Alabama, Missouri. That's going to be another good game too.
Yeah.
We'll see who, 2 under the radar SEC teams. We'll see who really is.
This is literally college football.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm loving every second of this dude. I'm loving this dude. You can't ask for much more, especially after the way last year ended. You can't ask for more mayhem.
I gotta admit, I don't think anything will be as crazy as last year because we had some wild teams up there. We had San Diego State. Who else was in like the top 10 that was random? Dayton. Oh yeah, Dayton was good. That would have been a fun matchup. Oh my gosh, that was so disappointing. We never got to see Cassius Winston go out. Oh man, that would have been such a crazy tournament. I really enjoyed watching that.
And then Penn State would have. Oh, dude, you mean to tell me the one year that Penn State is a NCAA tournament worthy team? That the tournament gets canceled. The one year Penn State is eligible for, they were ranked in the top 10 for once. Ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm sorry. That is tough. I mean, I can only imagine what like San Diego State fans are doing right now. I mean, they're unranked. They're not bad. I think they're like 10-4 or something. But last year they were ranked in the top 5 as well. Won at a few times, I believe. Oh my gosh, that would have been crazy. They were undefeated. They were like 17-0.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I will never be more salty about a sport getting canceled than last year's March Madness, ever.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know what? We gonna get it back this year. Unless
hopefully. Hopefully.
Absolutely just crap the bed in America and things just get somehow worse. I mean, you would think after a whole year that we would take the proper precautions to get this tournament on the road. After seeing what this thing has done for over a year, about a year, you would think we'd be able to keep this thing under control enough.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
We'll see. We'll have to wait and see, man. But shifting to another echelon of basketball, let me talk about this NBA season real quick because I don't know. I mean, the Utah Jazz are still winning games. I don't know, Drew. I'm starting to get really convinced.
I was gonna say. I mean, you were talking about them last week, and I'm still not like insanely high in them because they still haven't done anything in the playoffs. Nonetheless, I mean, I saw that they were at the top of the league. I was like, oh my gosh, what? I was surprised. I mean, and it's crazy because they haven't really gotten much like national attention either. That's why I was surprised. Very, very sneakily being the best team in basketball right now. I don't know. I think that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a row.
Wow.
11.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, by far the longest winning streak in the NBA right now. The closest is the Memphis Grizzlies with 6 in a row.
Okay.
Memphis is the 5th seed right now in the West.
I like it.
The return of Ja Morant. Hey,
Jackson
let's
Jr.
go.
Just wait till he gets back. Hey, Xavier Tillman. That's such a good young team. It really is.
Man, I'm excited. the West. It's always great to see these young teams, these teams that really haven't done all that well over the past decade. Get it? I'm not going to stop saying it until
it's
the playoffs.
interesting because the Grizzlies are one of the few teams probably in NBA history that really were able to propel themselves as such a young team, to be that good. Because last year, I don't think you could name one player who had a 10-plus year career on their team. I don't think there was one player with more than 10 years on their resume, which is crazy. And John Morant single-handedly carried their team throughout the entire season, and they were good. They were very good.
Oh yeah, I'm liking it. But you know what else I like? I like the Charlotte Hornets. I really want to see this team make the playoffs. Oh my gosh, LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges. This is a dynamic duo in the Bruins, Drew.
I knew it. I knew it since college. I mean, everyone's sleeping on Miles Bridges' dunk ability because every single day you're gonna see a new highlight from Miles Bridges' dunk catalog. He has so many dunks. I remember watching him in college, in person actually. Oh my gosh, this dude, he's so underrated. I really hope he becomes one of the better players in the league. Miles Bridges is so much fun to watch. And then watching LaMelo, I mean, I was watching his highlights when he was a freshman at Chino Hills. It's crazy. LaMelo coming from like an internet sensation with all of his highlights on Ball is Life and all of those companies. I've enjoyed it. I'm a fan of both of those players, and I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if the Hornets get to the playoffs. I mean, hey, Gordon Hayward is also playing well. That might be a good. I'm actually surprised. Actually, going to the Hornets, signing that massive deal. He's been pretty key in their success.
Yeah, and you know what? You touched up on Miles Bridges' highlight reel. Miles Bridges is like that one principal that has the same kid go into his dean's office after messing up, and then it's like the rim is his parent, and Miles Bridges just has the rim on speed dial. Like he has that rim's number every single week. It's like, oh my gosh, he has. I mean, every highlight you see of Miles Bridges, it's an insane dunk.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. I was like, most of the time, you're not going to see Miles Bridges with a game-winning three-pointer. It's going to be an insane dunk.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that's not to attest that he's a bad player.
No, of course not.
He's a stud, but I mean, he really does live off of dunks. Kind of like, you know, a magnified version of what's his name, Derrick Jones Jr. from the Miami Heat a couple years ago.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. I definitely every single time you'd see Derrick Jones Jr. it'd be a crazy dunk from like the free throw line, crazy wingspan. I think Miles Bridges, he needs to get back into the dunk contest. I remember last time it didn't go too well for him, but he's gonna win one.
Yeah, and about the games that I watched last night, obviously Lakers Celtics was a pretty good game. That was a pretty good game, but I was also watching Bulls Blazers. Oh my gosh, dude, Damian Lillard. Why does this man receive so much hate?
I wouldn't say that he receives so much hate. It's probably the fact that he's the only one really doing anything on his team. That's it. I mean, when you're your team's star player and you have not too many players around you, obviously due to injuries, but when you're not winning games because it's just you being successful, then you're probably gonna get some casual fans who are like, oh, he's not that good, they can't win games. Obviously, you're not watching, but Damian Lillard, I think he may be one of the most clutch players I've ever seen. This dude, every time there's a chance for a buzzer beater or a game winner, he's going to make it. And remember, Hulu has live sports.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those commercials are definitely. Oh, no. How about Bowl 24? Yeah. Damian Lillard. Hulu has live sports. Bowl 24. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's definitely earning those commercials right now.
Bro, yeah, he's getting money off and on the court.
Oh yeah, that is amazing. You see, that's why he's one of the league's best players, because he's just so swaggy with it. I mean, this dude literally owns two of the swaggiest moments in NBA history with those buzzer beaters and all the buzzer beaters he's ever hit. I mean, he's known for this. At this point, he's basically known. Like, this is his trademark. Yeah. Buzzer beaters.
Hey, if I were to have one player on my team and he could only hit potential buzzer-beating winning or game-winning shots, it would definitely be Damian Lillard. 100%. 100%. This dude, I can't remember the last time I've actually seen him miss on a buzzer beater. He's so close.
Yeah. And dude, the way he won the game last night, bro. So I went back, watched his highlights. He dropped 44 points and 9 assists. Dude. So you know how he also has another trademark, Logo Lillard. Bro, this man took 3 steps, 3 casual walks past the half-court line. He chucked one up. Kobe White fouled him and won nothing but net. I was like, oh, my goodness. This dude is a demon. Oh, my goodness.
And you really can't guard his step back. I mean, from what we saw from Larry Markkinen on the game-winning buzzer beater, not great defense. Didn't even get close to even making an attempt on blocking the ball. And it was pretty. I mean, he's just so good. I mean, Damian Lillard, I think he's still underrated. I think a lot of casual fans, as I mentioned, probably won't be too familiar with him, but he is fantastic. Really, really good player.
Yeah, because all they look at is LeBron, you know what I'm saying, Lakers,
Steph Curry,
Kawhi, PG, Clippers. It's like, screw the Nuggets. I don't, the Jamal Murray and Jokic ain't got crap on it. Bro, this is what I hate about sports nowadays, with sports fans, I should say. Bro, they look at the best teams, the absolute best teams, the championship teams, or even the reigning defending champions at points if they're doing well enough the next season. They look at them and they say, whoever is not as good as these, championship winners, you're trash. It's like, just because the Lakers are the best doesn't mean all other 29 teams are trash. And this is just something I don't like about casual fans, man. They don't understand the game. They don't understand the game.
And another annoying thing is that the casual fans, they love to talk what they're not educated about. Like they'll say the most random stuff and have no idea what they're talking about. Like you gotta, before you say stuff, you gotta know what you're talking about. If you're gonna say LeBron is the worst player of all time, you have to know what you're talking about. Obviously, it's ridiculous. I don't know why people like to talk or make bold claims without being able to back it up whatsoever. It makes no sense to me.
Exactly, bro. It doesn't make sense. And it's just like it really makes me mad, especially when I start supporting teams that, haven't ever won championships and stuff like that. But I want to see them win. Kind of like how I did with the Bills and the Nuggets these past 2 postseasons. And it's just like, everybody says, "Oh, Nuggets are trash. Nuggets are trash. Oh, the Bills are trash because they this." Who hasn't been? I mean, it's like who hasn't? Who is beating these dudes? Who is beating them?
Yeah.
Who's beating the Chiefs outside of the Raiders? Full strength.
Yeah. And,
I'll wait.
In the playoffs too.
Let alone only Tom Brady has done it.
Yep.
Only Brady.
With a team that later went on to win the Super Bowl too. So. There you go. Yeah,
I mean, we'll see how that goes. But you know what, dude? A potential finals preview on TNT on Tuesday. Clippers Nets. That's I'm gonna be interested to see if we'll see all the stars on the court because low management is infamous.
Yeah. Watch Kawhi, PG, Harden, KD, and Kyrie all sit out. Imagine that. That would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh!
Seeing all the former Pistons play, Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard, and then on the Nets you got Bruce Brown. All of them playing. That'd be a straight former Pistons matchup if all of those people sit out.
The former Detroit Pistons show on TNT.
That's what it's like around the league, honestly. I mean, from the Lakers, any team, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and another thing, another thing I like seeing the Suns on prime time. I like seeing the Phoenix Suns on ESPN for once, you know what I'm saying? Getting all the good games.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the Suns, I think they started off well and they kind of started to slump. I think they need to get back on track. They are a good team. I do think that they will make the playoffs. I do think that they are good enough to make the playoffs. I want to see them more on national television though. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And by the way, you brought up Harden. Yeah, he's gonna miss this. I think he's gonna miss a game with a thigh contusion. So that's one guy. But you know what? Back to where we started with the Nets. No, I'm just playing. But dude, it's pretty cool to see all these teams again and I just really want to see somebody beat these guys just so I can see all the casual fans just crumble up.
Dude, it's so funny because the Pistons have made those casual fans very confused because so far the Pistons have only beaten playoff teams. That is ridiculous. Other than the Heat, I guess, but they're able to beat the Lakers. The Pistons beat the Lakers. The Pistons beat the Lakers. I can't believe it. This is like 2004. This is like 1990 all over again. This is crazy. Yeah, I don't understand. The Pistons can only beat playoff teams. The Suns, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Lakers, the Heat. I guess I wouldn't consider them playoff teams, but you know what I mean. It's crazy.
As soon as the freaking Wizards come to town, as soon as the Timberwolves come into the play,
20-point loss.
It don't make no sense. You might as well just have them play the entire Western Conference.
Dude, yeah. I mean, hey, that's what the next week is looking like. So, Pistons, good luck.
Yeah, best of luck. Best of luck, man. You know, Drew, I'm looking at the NHL standings right now, and you know what? First of all, let me say that I like this NHL division alignment. I really do like this format because I think it implements a whole lot of mystery. Like we're probably not going to see Lightning versus Capitals or anything like that until we get to the playoffs, if that even happens. But you know what? I like this whole system because you get to see these teams that you probably haven't seen before. Because usually in the East, when it comes to the East, it's like top 3 teams, 2 wild cards. But now it's different, and teams, some divisions are weaker, some divisions are stronger, and we can start seeing some of the teams, rise from the ashes. Kind of like the Montreal Canadiens.
like I said, you mentioned how they like to go undefeated. I'm gonna tell you they're not gonna make the playoffs. They're not gonna make the playoffs. You'll see. That is my bold take for this episode. Punch my ticket right now. This is definitely my bold take. They won't make the playoffs this year. They start off very, very good every single year, and then they just it's a roller coaster ride with the Canadiens.
Well then, that's interesting. I definitely did not expect something like that from you. Well, actually, I did because Montreal Canadiens, Original Six. You said you hate Original Six, so
yeah,
I guess that makes sense. But I mean, that's not even like it's driven by hatred. The Canadiens have, actually, done that exact thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? Throw that out the window, bro. Because I mean, it took them a while to lose a game in regulation, though. I don't know. I mean, I wish I could see them on primetime television. I really do.
Another Canadian team that I want to mention is Toronto because they're number 1 in their Scotia North division, right? It's funny because just wait till they make the playoffs. They're going to get swept first round.
Dang.
I mean, when have they gotten out of the first round? That's what I want to ask. From watching, in my time watching, I've never seen them get out of the first round.
Okay, I've seen all the game 7s against the Bruins. I get it.
Is this their year, Jotham?
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't think it is, but I would love to see them get one for Joel Thornton.
Okay, fair.
I would love to see them get one for Joel Thornton. But shoot, man, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I mean, you only see these teams play the teams in their divisions. What happens when they get to the playoffs and you got to play your teams, other division champions and stuff like that? Drew, this is gonna get juicy. I want to see it. And you know what? I also want to see the Florida Panthers in the playoffs too. Ooh. Now you know what? I gotta pump the brakes. I got to pump the brakes because I know what you say about teams getting off the hot starts and then absolutely fizzling out when it comes to the spring.
I think we see it in every sport, though. So the teams that I would consider like potentially like being there at the end of the season. Obviously, Washington. I could easily see them being there, and probably Colorado because these past few years, they've just been insane on offense. Their offense has been crazy, winning games by like 8 goals. It's crazy. I don't know how it happens. and I would say Columbus. I think Columbus is a good team, and I think they could probably be there when the playoffs start. But other than those, I think it's a toss-up. Maybe we'll see Vancouver back. I really want to see Winnipeg and Edmonton and Calgary and Buffalo. I want to see some of the crazy, the random teams in there. Obviously, the Red Wings are currently last in their division and almost last in the league behind Ottawa. The Wings and the Sens, they're always going to be chasing each other for the bottom of the league.
Really,
bro? These past 2 years, yeah.
Dang, that's
past 3 years probably.
Almost sad.
Yeah.
That's almost sad. Who can tank faster and better? That's a sad proposition, man.
Dude, I like the Sharks too. They're down there as well.
So are the Blackhawks.
Yeah, but they were able to sweep the Red Wings. I don't know. The Blackhawks they're okay. They're okay, I guess. They're not bad. They're not terrible like the Red Wings, but they're also not great. So they're gonna get in that. I'm calling it right now. We got to look back to this episode. They're gonna get the 7th pick.
Blackhawks.
I'm throwing it out there. I just have a feeling. I got a Spidey sense. 7th pick.
Watch you say that, and they tank hard enough to get the number 1 pick.
Okay. So clip it either way, right?
At this point, dude, at that point, if the Blackhawks get the number 1 overall pick, that's the end of the NHL lottery. That is the end of the logical.
That's the end of top of the standings. I'm done. I'm done. Done.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude, that would be the saltiest. I mean, when are they ever going to get the number 1 overall pick? The Red Wings. I mean, what more do they have to do?
Dude, it's so unfortunate. It really is. But hey, they got it. It's crazy to think that they are probably the best team in Detroit right now, sports wise.
The Tigers? Better than the Tigers?
As of right now, yes. We need to see what the Tigers do. Then I would consider.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
New manager and stuff, but nonetheless, the Red Wings not good.
Okay. Okay, Drew, let's get to MVPs and LVPs. I feel like there was a lot to choose from this week, so I am curious to know, who is your MVP?
Well, this one, I actually had a difficult time really choosing who I wanted, honestly. You said there's a lot of options. The option that I saw was the best was probably the St. Louis Cardinals, because they acquired a superstar, an absolute superstar in Nolan Arenado from the Rockies. I always was confused why the Rockies wanted him to leave. I mean, it seems like they've been looking for a trade for these past few years. I just really never understood why. But the Cardinals, I think they got a steal. I think they also got like $50 million in cash as well. I don't know. I just think it a very good acquisition for the Cardinals, especially because I think they're close to getting past or getting pretty far in the playoffs. Obviously, they lost a tough series to San Diego last year, but I think this piece should help them out. But
yeah, Slam. I want to see the return of Slam Diego, bro. I want to see them do it again. I want to see them do it again. But yeah, we can't forget that this Cardinals team was the one that made the NLCS 2 years ago against the Washington Nationals. Yeah, they got swept, but that was just the Nationals year. That was that was nothing that was going to stop them. Not even trash cans. Or even 4 trips to Houston. I still can't believe they won 4 games in Houston. That is so tough.
I don't think you'll ever see it happen again. That's crazy.
My goodness. But yeah, the Cardinals are set up. I think they're an automatic shoo-in for NL Central champions.
I could see. No one has been competitive in the Central. I would have thought the Cubs would have been better. I would have thought the Reds would have been way better than they were last year. Obviously, no one really was too fantastic. So maybe Nolan Arenado and his defensive skills and offensive skills will maybe propel them to getting further in the playoffs.
Yeah, then I have no idea. But I have no idea why the Brewers are so uncompetitive at points. It's just like
their pitching is always going to be good.
But where's the offense at, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all went away after they dealt Thames to Washington. Thames, remember, he came out of nowhere. He came out of absolute nowhere. I think he came from Japan. He was playing in Japan. He got a contract with the Brewers, and he hit like so many home runs in his like first 20 games.
Man, but yeah, onto my MVP. But my MVP goes to the Oklahoma Sooners basketball team. Look, they've won 3 straight games against top 10 opponents. They've beaten Kansas, they've beaten Texas, and then they beat Alabama. And now they have another chance to do it. We'll see how the committee treats the rankings this week. But I assume Texas Tech is going to be in the top 10. Losing a close one to West Virginia, who's definitely going to be in the top 10. And then coming back the way they did against Texas Tech, I mean against LSU, I think Texas Tech should stay in the top 10. And then their very next game, well, not the very next game, but a couple games after the Texas Tech game, they have Baylor coming to town. Oklahoma's got a tough schedule, man. They got a tough schedule.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, they have a good team. They have a good team.
Yeah, so then that's why my MVP is going to the Oklahoma Sooners, because I mean, you used to hearing when you hear the words Oklahoma, you automatically think about that Sooners football team. Automatically, you think about all the high scoring offenses and the national championship. And, you know, the Big 12 championships and all that stuff and all the prestige and all the quarterbacks and all the offensive players and stuff like that. But now the basketball team's on the rise.
Yeah.
Kind of like a bootleg Alabama.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, it's like college basketball is now college football with all the football teams. You know.
Yeah, there were obviously a lot of teams that took dubs, this week. It was so tough to choose, but yeah, Oklahoma really stood out to me. But now we have to choose our LVPs, and there was a lot to choose from that category as well. Who is your MVP?
I had to go with the Wizards. I don't know. I brought this up earlier in I think a few weeks ago. They need to trade Bradley Beal. Let me tell you some of his stats over his past 7-8 games.
Okay.
60 points. 41 points, 34 points, 31 points, 33 points, 47 points. This is another crazy stat. Bradley Beal is the first player in NBA history to lose 10 straight games when recording at least 40 points.
Oh my gosh.
Currently, right now, he's averaging 34.7 points per game, which is the most in the league, above Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, Giannis, Kyrie Irving, Luka, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Trae Young. All those players, Bradley Beal is averaging more than, and they need to trade him. They have to. I feel terrible. If you guys have seen on like SportsCenter, they're always showing how he looks after they lose a game when he scores like 40 points. He's on the bench and he's like, he can't believe it. They need to trade him. It's only right. He's too good to be, losing all these games with the Wizards.
Yeah, I really do hope he goes to a place where he can, I won't say just win, like don't trade him to the Lakers or something like that, but trade him to somewhere like, a team.
Utah.
Some decent first round picks, but with a good contender as well. Maybe a team like the Nuggets, the Mavs, you know what I'm saying?
I'd like the Nuggets.
We'll see we'll see how hard the Bucks can go with it, but I doubt that they have, they already had such a huge roster overhaul.
That would be ridiculous.
But they got to get rid of Bradley Beal, man. That
it's
man
only right. It's only right.
He only deserves better, man. He only deserves better. But my LVP, for up until 11:53 this morning.
No.
I had the LA Rams.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that trade later. But I gotta go with your boy Rodney McGruder.
No.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
No.
But that was so soft what that man tried to do. I don't even know what his objective was. He just walked over there, pumped his thumb up. Going to the backcourt, according to reports, he was apparently confronting somebody because somebody said something to a guy, his teammate, in the first half. Yeah, man, I'm like, dude, the game is over. Screw the fact that you lost. Screw that. Because I really don't care. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. But dude, the game is over. The Warriors are heading to their locker room. Your teammates don't even really know what's going on with you. You, oh my gosh! And then not only that, with a cherry on the top, is that Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Oh my gosh! Oh my!
I don't think I've ever seen any player get absolutely destroyed via trash talk. I've never seen Draymond obliterated him in his post-game press conference. Personally, it was kind of funny. I'm a Pistons fan, and I was kind of I felt disrespected for Magruder, for Rodney, but oh my gosh, Draymond, it was like a lunch table roast session. Oh my gosh. Bro, I was laughing at the press conference, dude. It was funny, but I was like, dang, I feel bad for Rodney because he was trying to stick up for his teammate. He was trying to stick up for probably the best 3-point shooter this season in the NBA. I'm dead serious. Look at Wayne Ellington's stats right now. But hey, I mean, oh my gosh, I felt so disrespected for him. Oh, it was bad. Everyone was getting on his head. Everyone.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just the mere fact that, you know, I mean, Klay Thompson said he's going to be out of the league. Oh my gosh, that's as low as you can go
on national or on their local television on the Warriors broadcast. I was like, oh no! And then Draymond in the press conference like, Rodney, who's going to be scared of Rodney? A dude named Rodney. Magruder. I was like, oh no, I feel bad for Rodney, and he only gets and he was in the Luke Kennard trade, so he went from the Clippers to the Pistons.
Yeah,
and from getting minutes on the Clippers to getting probably 2 minutes every time the Pistons get absolutely blown out. So he gets no minutes, and then lets alone the one time he gets a few minutes, like 6 minutes at the end of the game, scores 8 points, he gets obliterated. I feel bad for Rodney.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who he was until last night.
I'm sure that was the growing consensus with most of NBA fans who saw Klay Thompson and Draymond Green destroy him. But you know, it is what it is. Rodney, you're still a Piston. I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he finds a way to recover. But yeah, dude. I mean, we got to get into. I think this is the first time we have to dive into some honorable mentions. I honestly, wholeheartedly think that the Lions were on the right side of the highway robbery of the Los Angeles Rams. That was highway robbery.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, you got 2 first-round picks, future first-round picks. You get another third-round pick, and you get Jared Goff, who will keep your team competitive unless you find a replacement, which I think the Lions now, with all the draft capital they have, 5 first-round picks in the next 3 years, I do think that they could potentially move up and get the quarterback of the future. And it's all right because Jared Goff, he's obviously a seasoned quarterback. He got to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, so he can. I feel like he could help a potential rookie quarterback in progressing to, being the Lions' future. So I like the trade. It's all right, and I'm glad Matthew Stafford got to go to the place he actually really, really wanted to go. I mean, Matthew Stafford already has a house in L.A. He wanted to go to L.A. I mean, he's right next to his childhood friend, Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw, yeah. That's the first thing that came to mind when I thought L.A. I'm like, is Matthew Stafford going to win the Super Bowl just because his buddy Clayton Kershaw got over the hump?
And he has a defense now, so.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, I think the only reason I think this is a major L for the Rams is because they gave up so much for Matthew Stafford. Yeah, Matthew Stafford, I think he's still a really good quarterback. Obviously, you saw what he did in Detroit his whole career for the past decade, but
see,
man,
this is funny because I saw this point and I really like it because someone said the Lions aren't going to send him to a place that he wants. They're going to wait for someone to overpay for him. And that was exactly what they did. I heard that the football team, they said that they offered things or offered something that could put the lines in play for immediate help. That's very intriguing. But instead, they were waiting for a team to overpay like the Rams. And that is an impressive move by Brad Holmes in his first attempt at being a GM. I mean, this is his first job as a GM, and that's his first move. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's nice. Dude, you know what? This might – I mean, I have to ask because you obviously are a Detroit Lions fan. Is this the most optimistic you've been about a Detroit Lions offseason?
I would say so. I really have enjoyed the hires that they made. It's definitely feeling a lot different from the start of the Patricia era, but I really enjoy all of the moves that they've made. I like it. I mean, I'm not going to get too optimistic because we've seen this story before, but I mean,
yeah.
If they go into complete rebuild, they get a quarterback, Justin Fields, who knows? I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. I am carefully optimistic. I'll say that.
See, if I had the chips in my hands, I mean, my thing is you have Jared Goff, and obviously you have to handle his contract now. Do they draft the quarterback of the future, or do they give Jared Goff weapons, or do they draft weapons now and then wait until the future drafts where they have the first round picks of the Rams? And who knows? Maybe the Rams, bomb out, and Detroit gets a high pick because of it, and they see a quarterback in the market. Who knows? Maybe Spencer Rattler, becomes the next great Oklahoma quarterback. Maybe take him or something like that. I don't know.
Hey, like I said, I think that now that they have all this draft capital, I do think that they could move up in the draft and draft the quarterback of the future this year.
In this year's draft?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do think so. I mean, this is the most draft capital that they've had in years, so I think it gives them the opportunity to move up as well. Obviously, their new GM was the scout for the Rams since 2003. Obviously, drafted 23 Pro Bowlers. He has an eye for talent. So I would not be surprised if they moved up, maybe get Justin Fields. I do think that this QB, the QBs in this draft are definitely the most deep that we've seen in years.
So when it comes to regular season, let's say you do draft a quarterback. Are you starting Jared Goff or are you starting that rookie quarterback?
Yeah, it's going to be Jared Goff. I mean, you didn't take on that contract to sit him, and then you got also Chase Daniel, who you paid a ton to also sit on the bench. So I would say Jared Goff would start out the rest of his contract basically, which is like 2 years, maybe 3, and then you can probably get rid of him. Honestly, to let him walk and then start that rookie quarterback. That would be my plan.
So what's the best case scenario for the Lions' future?
Draft a quarterback, whoever that may be, in my opinion, and then probably it depends what you're gonna do with Kenny Golladay. I personally don't see Marvin Jones coming back. I feel like his connection with Matthew Stafford was, they were like a duo. They were one of the best duos in the NFL. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Marvin Jones in LA again. I do think Kenny Golladay has a better chance of staying, but I guess we'll have to see. It depends. It all depends with free agency.
This is insane. I mean, these two guys, I won't say it's like you told me earlier with a couple of Deshaun Watson trades where it's like, it's the same quarterback, it's the same quarterback, it's the same quarterback. Because I honestly don't think these two guys are the same quarterback, but they could yield the same success given the right, tools.
Potentially.
And you know what? This could very well be a win for both sides. But right now, with that draft capital, this is a steal for the Lions right now, and hopefully, they make some really good decisions in the draft.
I agree. Yeah.
All right, dude. Time to get to some trivia, and well, that leads us perfectly into it because last time I checked, you had a trivia question about Matthew Stafford.
I did. Perfect timing, and this one is gonna blow your mind. I said last week this one is insane. So Matthew Stafford. He has started 167 games in the NFL in his NFL career. In those games, how many times was he accompanied by a 100-plus yard rusher?
I'm going to go off the dome and say 6.
Actually, it is higher. 11 times was he accompanied by a 100+ yard rusher. That is insane. 167 starts, only 11 times.
See, people want to trash Matthew Stafford just because he didn't win in the playoffs and stuff like that. People just don't see. It's like people don't see what's around this man. They don't look at what he's done. I mean, just look at the stats, bro. Over 280 touchdowns and 45,000 yards passing.
One of the best starts to a quarterback's career of all time.
Yeah, especially after taking over a team that went 0-16, and then turning it into giving them the gifts that he's given them for the past decade. You really couldn't ask much for more, because after that 0-16 campaign, that you couldn't get more rock bottom than that.
No.
But Matthew Stafford at least gave you guys a little bit of light for the next decade.
Dude, and he hardly ever gets hurt. I see a lot of fans who are like, oh, they have to worry about his injuries. Are you, what are you talking about? These past 2 years, it's been back and I think finger. Literally, he hardly ever gets injured. It's crazy. I don't know why people bring up the injuries, because he just doesn't.
And even if that's the case.
And he's going to play through it. We saw the end of the season this year. It's crazy. I don't know why fans, talk on things they don't know. But nonetheless, I'm interested in hearing your trivia question.
Through a game when a touchdown with a hurt shoulder. Okay, now for my trivia question. So last night, if you really liked NHL hockey, then last night was probably the night for you, because a lot of games went into overtime. So I have to ask, what is the NHL record for most overtime games in one day?
So the number of games that went into overtime, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 8. 8. That is my guess. That is my favorite number. I'm going to go 8.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out next week. It's a pretty reasonable guess, because you're thinking, okay, 30-some teams, about 14, 15 games. If there's a lot, then it has to be a number, this and that. Okay, it's reasonable.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
So, yeah. We'll see about that next week. But I asked that question because last night there were 6 overtime games, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty dope. Yeah. It was some pretty good hockey last night, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there was, and unfortunately the Red Wings have now lost 3 straight in overtime, so it's been tough out here. But it's the Red Wings. You can't expect much.
Yeah, dude. It's. Hopefully things get better. We'll have to wait and see.
I hope
maybe
so.
Maybe you can sweep the Blackhawks from here on out. Get stacked on points. Maybe get a couple of games on the Hurricanes. Maybe the Panthers are in the midst of a bad streak. Heck, you maybe steal one on the Lightning, or maybe even the Stars, and now next thing you know, you're top 4.
I like the optimism, but
no. Okay.
No. Sorry.
Hey, we talked about a lot today, and mission accomplished, dude. We talked about a lot in a shorter length of time.
There you go.
Starting to get back to our roots.
There you go, fans. We can do this. We can do this. We can get it under an hour and 20 minutes. So.
Yeah. That was a crazy stretch we went on. Throughout the NFL season, an hour 30, hour. I don't even know if we went. I don't think we went an hour 40.
Yeah.
That would
once.
Oh gosh. Yeah. But yeah, guys, we're starting to inch back towards our roots, the 60 minutes.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun because Jonathan and I were recording these episodes at 9:00 on Sunday morning, so to get this episode or attempt to get it out before the end of the football weekend, Sunday, Saturday, whatever. But yeah, hey Jonathan, same time next week.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. You already know how we how we do. 25 episodes, a quarter of a century worth of top of the standings episodes, guys. We are consistent in the game with this. What 2 teenagers do you know that do this every single week on such a consistent basis? If you enjoyed this top of the standings podcast, give us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or whatever streaming device you use to listen to top of the standings, watch top of the standings. Give us a like, comment, subscribe on YouTube if you're watching there, and then give us that follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The big 3, This has been Top of the Standings. Drew, Hale, J City. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.